Welcome to the Counselor's Soapbox video channel. This is the Learning About Alcohol series, part 7. A person's expectations influence the effects alcohol has on them. There are two major factors. Mindset. Sometimes alcohol makes someone who drinks it happy, and other times it makes them angry. One reason is that the mood people are in at the time they begin to drink is exaggerated by the influence of the alcohol. The other thing is that alcohol, like many other drugs, affects people differently depending on where they consume it. A single drink in a bar might make someone more affectionate or romantically inclined, while the same drink of alcohol at a church service, communion, might affect them in a very different way. Society's view of alcohol has changed over the years. It used to be considered a good thing to drink. Now we are seeing that there are significant risks from any alcohol consumption. One of the questions that gets raised is there such a thing as low-risk use? And it turns out that there are no such thing as a low-risk use without effects. One major area we see this is the effects on the unborn. We used to identify people with fetal alcohol syndrome, babies born to mothers who drank heavily during pregnancy. And we can see physical changes in the baby or child as a result of the mother's drinking. But as these people have been studied more to find out how much alcohol is safe during pregnancy, we've discovered that there is a spectrum along which the problems occur. Fetal alcohol effects are found in children whose mothers consumed alcohol during pregnancy, even when there are no physical changes. And even at small amounts, children whose mothers drank during pregnancy are more likely to have learning disabilities. Even moderate use of alcohol during pregnancy has been linked to spontaneous abortions. And for those with pre-existing medical conditions, moderate use may not be safe under any circumstance. What are the risks? Well, pre-existing medical conditions that might say someone shouldn't drink: coronary or artery disease, congestive heart failure, hypertension, meaning high blood pressure, anyone with a seizure disorder or diabetes, gout, osteoporosis, skin conditions, psoriasis, ulcers, and anyone with a fatty liver is at added risk if they consume alcohol. The days when we had people who consumed only alcohol and people who primarily consumed drugs are long gone. Many people today consume both, and there are significant interactions when the two are consumed together. As far as your liver is concerned, nothing is more toxic than alcohol, and the liver will tend to ignore other drugs and work on the alcohol first. So alcohol prevents the liver from metabolizing those other drugs. There are some drugs for which alcohol may speed up metabolism, particularly some prescription medications. And there can be synergistic effects or additive effects where if you take alcohol and another central nervous system depressant, it could knock you unconscious or even kill you. There are problems associated with drinking and intoxication, accidents and injuries. People are far more likely to get injured while drinking and to have more severe injuries when intoxicated. Alcohol also suppresses the immune system and increases the risk of catching HIV or AIDS, and increases the risk that someone will experience a sexual assault. Also, it increases the risk of sudden natural death. Comparing alcohol use to other drug use, route of administration is a significant factor. The primary way in which alcohol is consumed is orally, through the mouth and through the stomach. though it is possible to ingest it by wearing a mask and breathing the fumes. Other drugs can also be injected, and there are three possible routes of injection. Subcutaneous, sometimes called skin popping, is inserting the drug directly under the skin. Intermuscular shots, for example, of flu viruses and so on, are given into the muscle area. Intravenous is the administration of the drug directly into the vein. If you've ever been to the hospital, one of the first things they do in the emergency room is to insert a needle IV directly into the vein so that if they have to give drugs, it can immediately be placed in the bloodstream. Drugs can also be consumed by snorting through the nose, smoking, technically called inhalation. There are transversal patches and medications that can be spread on the skin, and sublingual. Most drug treatment programs have forms which include a category for other. Primarily, this is suppositories, although people show a great deal of ingenuity in how they get drugs into the system. Each of these routes of administration has its own characteristics. Oral tends to be much safer. Injecting, particularly IV, gets the drug to the brain much more rapidly and delivers a large amount. Smoking or inhalation, the drug goes directly to the brain and is felt immediately. So the route of administration very much affects the way in which the user of drugs experience that drug use. Drug solubility is another important factor. If you've ever mixed water and oil, you know that the two don't mix together well. Alcohol is highly soluble in water, and so are most drugs. So drugs that are very water soluble get into the bloodstream rapidly, move throughout the body, and are readily detected in the urine. A few drugs dissolve wholly or partially in fat or lipids. Marijuana and PCP are two examples. Because of this fat solubility, these drugs stay in the bloodstream a great deal longer, and people have reported that they test positive for these two drugs even a considerable time after their last use. Using alcohol and other drugs together alters the effects of the two in combination. For example, alcohol combines with cocaine to produce another drug, cocaethylene. This drug is more stable and stays in the bloodstream longer, but is more toxic to both the liver and the heart. Alcohol use while using cocaine increases the levels of cocaine in the bloodstream by up to 30%. Using both at once increases sudden death risk by 20 times. Most drug overdose deaths from cocaine, alcohol is also present in the bloodstream. What's ahead for the Counselor Soapbox video channel? More learning about alcohol videos, more drug education videos, and some mental health and wellness videos. If you've enjoyed this video, please click the like button directly below and subscribe to receive new videos as they are completed. For more information, please visit the Counselorssoapbox.com blog, where you will find articles on mental health, substance abuse, and having a happy life. The David Joel Miller fiction and nonfiction books are available on Amazon.